Hello guys, in this video we're going to continue discussing Jung's experiment which showed which empirically verified psychoanalysis essentially. So as we said in the previous video, the experiment was pretty simple. Okay, he would simply have a list of words and then he would time how long it would take you to come up with an association for this word. Okay, so he would say horse, and he would kind of wait for you. How long would you take to come up with an association? Maybe you would say, horse. You would come up with a name or color or whatever comes into your mind, and he would time it. Now the key concept is because the way I have been describing it so far, I don't think it's very illustrative. It doesn't really mean much. I mean, words, we just come up with kind of different answers, like what does it have to do with psychoanalysis at all? And you see, Jung had this clever idea that some words have kind of different weights in your mind. Okay, so what do I mean by this? So I mean, you probably know from your own experience that sometimes when you hear like a song, okay, which you haven't heard for a long time, it might make you feel stuff. You might feel sad or really happy. There's kind of this baggage which comes from some associations, okay, and he did not have kind of lots of music to play back in those days, but he had words, lots of different words, and the thing is that words can act just like music when it comes to bringing up emotional baggage. And as a consequence of this, some words would kind of take you an abnormally long time to associate. So that's the key insight, and it's really, really clever. So kind of think about it this way. So I take your personal history, like your psychoanalytic history, what kind of painful experiences you have had, what pleasant experiences you have had. And for instance, I might know that you have had this kind of psychotic, psychological trauma because let's say you were really, really jealous of your coworker. There was this guy at your job and you just really hate that bastard. He's so successful. And you kind of course, you kind of push it to the side, you suppress it. But if I can kind of come up with a word which you will associate with that coworker, it will kind of give you this mental hiccup. It will kind of slow you down. It will take you longer time to process this particular association, and there will be a significant slowdown in you coming up with an answer. And Jung, knowing this, implanted some trigger words, words which have a lot of emotional baggage behind them, and he would use these words in his experiment, and he would notice that some words took much longer, and these words which took much longer he called a complex. Okay, so they have this baggage associated around them, and these words have a complex in the subconscious. So and this did indeed show that psychoanalysis is true, because it showed how suppressed suppressed content can come up to the surface, because it forms a complex which takes longer to come up to the surface, and this way kind of takes you longer to come up with an association. And if that was not the case, all words would take the same time, because I mean empirically words are roughly the same.